What's going on, everyone? It is your boy Silver back. And today we're actually going to do things a little different. As you guys can see from the shirt, it is under the scope time. So this is the very first video of many, hopefully to come. This is going to be an ongoing a podcast, if you will, that I'm going to be doing live. I'm going to be trying to introduce to you guys who the community is, the people we play with or I play with every day, who they are, kind of get a little bit about, to tell us about themselves and, share as much as they want to share. Because I know a lot of us play with each other, but we really don't know each other. So we're going to start a lot with a lot of the people that we play, but then we also have some also other friends that I'm going to be introducing to you guys from different organizations, from marketing to finance to everything. So again, the whole reason for this podcast is for you guys to get to know the people that are actually in the community with us here and supporting us the day in, day out. And again, just to tell you a little bit more about them as well. All right, everyone, without further ado, I'll bring in Skitty now. Here we are. So, hey, Skitty, how's it going today, man? How you doing?
Good, bro. How are you, man?
I'm doing awesome, man. Just had some
Nice.
great meetings this morning. So worked out and I'm trying to have breakfast, but I'm trying to get through this interview with you since I
Nice.
want people see you every day playing.
Yeah.
They're gotten to know over the last almost 2 years who Skitty
Crazy.
is in game, but we really have no idea who really Skitty is outside of gaming.
Right.
And so I'll ask you the first question.
Okay.
Who is Skitty?
Who is Skeety? Well, in a nutshell, I'm a stay-at-home dad with 5 kids, a wife, three dogs, and 2 cats. I do I'm what you would call, I don't know, a house husband, I guess, with gaming privileges.
Great. And so you obviously have your kids. How many kids you say you have, Skitty?
Five
You
total.
have 5 kids? Okay,
Yeah.
great. And are they all gamers?
I would say 3 of the 5 are gamers. Yes.
Okay. And so that's interesting, right? It obviously you have 5 kids, 3 are gamers, 2 are not, and you're married, you're a stay-home dad. How did that happen, if I may ask? I mean, again, tell us as much as you want.
It started back probably. See, our my oldest son Joey is now 17, so it probably started when he was, let's see, kindergarten, first grade, so probably 4 or 5. My wife at the time, the kid's mother, um, decide we kind of decided that her skill set for working better suited what our financial needs were.
Okay.
So instead of sending 3 kids to daycare and basically me working for daycare fees, we decided for me to stay home and for her to take on the working role in our family at that point in time. So I've
Awesome.
been a stay-at-home dad for the better part of, you know, probably 12 or 13 years now. But I did in the middle there, I did go drive over the road truck for about 2.5 years in the middle there when some things got kind of rocky. Probably don't want to share too much of that,
No worries.
but that was or it was a hard time for us. Um, then it was really hard because the kids is my original 4 kids. Their kids' mom had passed away. So I know you. I've talked to you. I've told you this, but not many other
Yeah,
people know. But their
correct.
biological mom had passed away. Joey was like 11 or 12. Audrey was like 9. Sydney was 7. And Bradley was itty bitty. He was probably like 3 or 4 at the time. So she's been gone for 6 years now. So it's been an adjustment, but with my new wife, Charity is amazing. Without her, this wouldn't be possible. I wouldn't be able to do what I do because obviously I'd have to go back to work and able to support the family and pay all the bills. So I got blessed to rekindle with a high school sweetheart. We call it our take three, so to speak, because we've dated twice before, and this is take
But
three, and we actually pulled the trigger and got married like 4 years ago now. So it's been,
but this is it. This is it. And
yeah.
from all of us, our condolences on the passing of your first wife
Thank you.
and the mother of your children. And like I said, it's I can't imagine. Obviously losing a spouse, a significant other.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you guys are here. I'm glad that the rest of you guys are healthy, and you've again you found the next person, and I'm glad for that, and I'm very happy for you, Skitty, and
Yeah.
your family.
Yeah.
Um, so how tell us how did you start gaming? Like, where did
Oh,
that come from?
oh, jeez. Well, back original Halo when the first Xbox came out, I was, let's see, in my early 20s, early to mid 20s when it came out, and it was like life changing. I'd go to work, I'd come home, and I'd play that all the time. That's all I ever did. Me and my buddies would just hang out and play that. So what was nice is I did inventory, so my work was pretty sporadic. So I'd have like days and days and days off sometimes, and I could just sit there and grind and grind. And ever since then, I've played. There was a couple years where I got away from it, and then here the last 3 years, I picked up PC gaming and using the mouse and keyboard, which has kind of changed everything for me. I've definitely got more into gaming now that I'm on keyboard and mouse. I don't know that I'm any better one way or the other. I would call myself average to an average player, I guess. I just go out and I have fun, try to make new friends. Like I never would have thought, however long, a year and a half, 2 years ago, when I played in your guys' tournament, that
Yeah.
it would turn into an amazing friendship. And like this, it's crazy to think, man. It's crazy what gaming has done for me and brought to me. It's just amazing.
Yeah, and believe me, I second that. I've over the years, we all start just playing nonchalant, if you will, just for fun, get
Hmm.
away, and then it turned into this passion of wanting to game, come in, and then you meet people along the way that make you want to continue to game
Right.
just to be able to hang out with them virtually, right? and
Hmm.
and so those are that's that's the stories that are untold, all
Right.
those connections you started seeing them now, where during the pandemic Warzone brought a lot of people together,
Yeah.
and now people are starting to fly to each other, drive to each other, and start meeting each other, which I hope one day we all get to do here soon, Skitty.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. Knock on wood and fingers crossed. I'd love to meet you
that
in person, bro, for sure.
yeah, likewise, man, likewise. So what is it that you, Skitty, like doing outside of gaming?
Jeez, man. A lot of some people that are familiar with me in our Playmoto community would know I love to cook. I'm a cooker, like to barbecue. Um,
We've seen the
I don't,
pictures, man. Food looks
right.
great.
My next big passion after that is I don't know. I used to play baseball. I played baseball in high school a lot, and then in the last 4 or 5 years I started playing softball, and I'm having an absolute blast playing that. So that those are cooking, gaming, and softball are kind of my passions. I love hanging out with family and rafting and doing that stuff too, obviously. But if it's just talking about just me, what I like to do, those are my top three for sure.
Okay.
Top
And
three.
what does it look like on a family day for Skitty? What does that
Family.
look like?
Oh man. Well, okay. I'll give you a family rafting day. So last a couple of months ago, well, I guess we'll go back to last summer because I don't think the kids went on one of this year. But usually we get up around 7:30 or 8. I'll jump in the truck. We pack our coolers up with sandwiches and drinks and whatnot, and head to the raft spot where we get our rafts. We put in the river. We take our time. I don't know. It's usually a like a if you're going fast, it's a 3.5 hour float. But when you're out there on the river, you don't want to go fast. You just want to chill and have fun and be with your family. So we turned it into a 5 or 6 hour float, and here in the Rogue River down in Southern Oregon, where we live, it's an amazing little valley that the Rogue River runs through. It's called Hell's Gate Canyon, and there's some beautiful scenery, and there's some cliffs to jump off of, and so I guess there's a little extreme sport in there too, because obviously you got the rapids and all that, but plus you have some 35, 40 foot cliffs you can jump off into some 100 foot pools and stuff. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, I it sounds like an amazing day with Skitty. All right. And so one question that was just asked by DCT is, where did Skitty84 Gaming come from?
Okay, well, Skeety was actually the kids' mom's nickname. That's what all of her friends used to call her when they were hanging out and having fun. And when I went and drove truck, what I did was I created an Xbox Live account for her so she could play games with me when I was on the road and play games with the kids.
Okay.
And so that was where my other account, the one that you also know, Silver's Warmonger, that was my other one that I had. And so what I did was I let the kids take over mine, and I took over this gamer tag as kind of a I don't even know what's I had the right word on the tip of my tongue, but it's gone. Kind of like a in memory of, I guess would be the best way to
Yeah.
do it for the
Okay.
kids as moms, so that if if and when I catch lightning in a bottle and this thing maybe takes off or whatever it turns into, it's there and they have something that has her name on it too. It's not just me because without her, without them, I'm not who I am right now.
All right. Well, DCT, I hope that answered your question. I hope, and I did answer it for all of us wondering where Skeety84 Gaming came from. Very touching story, Skitty. Again, obviously, I'm not here to try to make you go back, but obviously, some of the questions make you go back and think about
That's
it and
fine.
share your story. And I appreciate you going into detail and sharing your story, Skitty. And again, I think you're very well loved by the community. Everyone that we come across really likes, enjoys your company, and you've met a lot of young friends, like older friends like myself, yourself, but there's also the younger community that you've also kind of touched in that, heart warmth moment of they love playing with you and interacting with you. Why do you think that is the case? Why do you think people are attracted to you, Skitty?
Oh, dang, man, that's tough because I don't know because I don't even know what attracts me to me, man. I'm kind of stuck with myself. You guys have the option to stay, so I'd like to think it's my honesty, my kindness. I try to be so welcoming to people that maybe that's why they like to stick around and play because I have that big heart and I kind of wear it on my sleeve. I'm
Right.
not afraid to be like, yeah, come on, come and play, or hey, this isn't gonna work. I can't, I'm trying to stream. I can't have that kind of talk or whatnot on my channel, but I'll
Yeah.
always be open and honest with whoever I'm playing, and I think that's key. Right now, there's so many people trying to put on facades and not be who they really are that I hope that my touch of honesty and just me being me is what draws people in and gets people to come back and keep playing. I know it's not
That's
my skills. I know it's not my skills because I'm not that good, but I do have a darn good time.
Well, it's the soft skill, Skitty, that
Yep.
drives people to you, right? So,
Yep.
and I couldn't agree more. I think Skitty, from the time that we've met to the time I've known, being able to play with you, you're the opposite of the Doctor Disrespect, right? You're like Mister Respect and Mister Kind, and Mister Happy, if you will, and
Yep.
so I think that's what attracts you. But also, I think that people can resonate, or you understand people because you're a dad,
Right.
and so you're able to say, all right, these young kids, they want to play. I'm a dad too, and I believe me, I play with a lot of younger kids. DCT, I think, is 14 years old, and so
Right.
we play at times, so I think that's some of the key things. And I love the company, Skitty. Obviously, I think you've become my dual who I play with the most now,
Yep.
and so that's awesome.
Yeah. I'm your
But
Tim the Tap Man, man.
you're my Tim the Tap. Oh my God, I hope this makes it to 10. But anyways, so here's another question from DCT. He's like, what is your favorite movie or show?
There's so many.
What's the one that popped
Uh,
into your head?
the
That's the way
one
I
that
do
popped
it.
it, the one that popped into my head first. There was two. There's Remember the Titans
Okay.
and The Legend of Bagger Vance.
Okay. So there
Um,
you go. So those are the two that popped into your head. Obviously,
yep.
there's a lot more, but those are the two that popped into your head.
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
there you go, DCT. Hey, what's going on, Kyle? All right, so we got Skitty here on trial, so
Go easy, Kyle. I'm always remember. I always show you love, bro. I always show you love.
I know. And so anyway, so we're
Mm.
interviewing Skitty. We're learning everything about Skitty and who
Mm.
Skitty is. The main question: what is your name, Skitty?
Oh, my actual name is Daniel.
There you
I
go.
prefer I prefer Dan. Um,
Okay.
I've never liked Danny. People have called me
Okay.
that, and that's the one thing that I've like. Hey, just I don't know why. I just never have. I'm cool with you can call me Daniel. You call me Dan. I've never liked being called Danny. and I don't know why. Because so many Daniels go to Danny, but that was never. I make sure that people up front, you can call me Daniel, but please don't call me Danny. I've always been that way. So
So understood. I won't call you Danny. All right. So Kyle is asking, what was your very first video game you played? Now I know you mentioned Halo, but was that the
yeah,
very first one you played?
no, very
Okay.
first one ever was back when Atari was out and the Commodore 64s were out, but I played on a system called the Intellivision Entertainment System, and my first game on that was Dungeons and Dragons.
Wow, you're one of the OGs, huh?
Yeah, this was yeah. The from what I understand, the Intellivision came out a little bit before the Atari, but it didn't take off like Atari. If you can picture an old school like touch tone phone where you've got the nine numbers and then there's a little disc at the bottom. Each number represented a one spot movement. Like one was up or it was diagonal, left or right, and then the disc was like your special kind of move or highlight your stuff in your inventory. So it was a very slow paced but fun. It was pretty cool because my dad was one of the ones that really loved electronics. So we had a surround sound system before surround sound systems were a thing, and we had a big 55-inch big screen TV back then, and we played games on that. So it was pretty incredible.
Awesome, awesome. I remember
Yeah.
that, by the way. Where do you want gaming to take you, Skitty? Where would you like for it to take you? Why are you doing this? Is it
I
just for
the
fun,
reason
or is it to try to accomplish something else?
it's honestly it's mostly for fun, and if I get anything else out of it, then that's just an added bonus. If gaming can bring me any more pleasure or friends or whatever than it already does, that's great. And obviously, if it brings me something to where I can help out financially around the house, around the home with the kids and stuff, then great. But that's not what I set out for. I set out for just for fun to see if I could do it, see if I could make it. See
Have you
what.
given yourself a goal of this is the time frame that I gave myself, or is it just
Um,
because I have the time, I'm just going to continue doing it?
it's a little bit of both. My first goal was to on stream on Twitch and see if I could get to affiliate. And I did that, and that was super cool. I thought it was super cool. The kids thought it was cool. The wife was like, "Yeah, whatever." She's not a gamer. She doesn't see the fun in it, I guess. But for me, it was cool because I hit that goal, and now it's okay. Well, let's try to grow. Let's see where let's see what the next step brings. If we get there, can we get there? Let's see what happens. And I know I get out here every day and play some games with my friends, and you never know. All it takes is that one day, that one person to see you and be like, "Oh my goodness, that guy is fun, and he is fun to watch." So I'm gonna like him and go tell all my friends about it.
Yeah.
And then you start that ball rolling. You never know what could happen. You
Yeah.
just fingers crossed. And, maybe someday catching lightning in a bottle and it taking off. And but if it doesn't, then that's fine too because I've met some amazing people, got some new friends, and I enjoy doing it. So it's another hobby. Some people paint, some people work on cars. Whatever their hobby may be. This is my hobby, and I enjoy doing it. So
Awesome. So, where do you see yourself in the future, Skitty?
in the future, well, I'm hoping in an office next to you somewhere for Play Moto. But hey, beggars can't be choosers.
you've reserved that. So it's a tough question,
It
trust me,
is.
because people are like, "Hey, what are you gonna do, right?" And what do you see yourself in 5 years and 10 years? And it's a harder question to ask in 5 or 10, but it's an easier question for me if you ask, "Where do you see yourself in the future?" Right? Because
Right.
that could mean it could be in the next few months, the next few years. You decide what that future means tomorrow.
Right. Right.
So yeah, so I leave it an open ended question for you on where do you believe you see yourself?
Let me see myself. Wow. I don't know. It's so hard because I think of other people. I really honestly and truthfully try to put other people before me. I don't try to. I guess I try to better myself, but if I can help somebody else do better and help them along the way, that's where I'm going to go first. That's going to be my first instinct. It always has been. Where do I see myself? You know, I don't know. One day, one day, when all this is done and the kids are out of the house, I want to be kicked back playing games, in the evening and playing golf by day. That's
There you
that's
go.
that's my ultimate dream is to be able to go golf whenever I want to, come home and play video games.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, that's
Perfect life
honestly
right there.
it. I mean, that's
Yeah,
that's yeah. I mean, if that's what you're asking, that's what in the future. If I can hit
that's
that in the future, that would be amazing.
that's a hole in one, right?
Yep, exactly,
Pun
exactly,
intended.
exactly. Yep.
So, let me ask you one very important thing. All right, you could use your life experience, you could use your gaming experience, what you learned over the last few years. If you could go back and tell someone that's younger that that wants to pursue gaming, what would you tell them? What would you recommend? Where would they start, and
Jeez.
what should
Okay.
they focus on?
Now, my first thing that comes to mind is don't let it become work. Always enjoy it. Keep it fun. It's when it's not fun anymore, then you're not going to enjoy it. You if it's something that you're passionate about and you really want it, go get it, but make sure you keep it fun because I've did some things that were jobs that I loved and that were fun, but I made it work rather than kept the fun in it. So it ruined it for me. It took you know, all the fun out of it.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
it's one of those things where if you like going to work, if you like your job, you're going to like going to work every day. And that's what gaming and streaming is. It is a job, yes, but if you like it and you have fun, you'll enjoy coming back and doing it every day. And your chat, your audience, your community will see that, and they'll see that you're enjoying it and you're having fun. So my thing would be to keep gaming fun. Don't don't turn it into I don't know. It's such a big thing right now. The rage compilations and all that. People like to watch that, but I don't know. It's rough to see people do that sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I speak from experience. I get my rage moments, especially when the building doesn't allow me to throw an airstrike outside and throws it on me. That
Yep.
is the best clip. I should go back and look for that somewhere. But anyways, no, I
Uh,
absolutely get it. But where do you recommend a new someone that's trying to make them things happen? What are some things that you've learned that you could tell them? These are the common mistakes that I made that you should not make when starting as a streamer. Just
my
give one
gut.
or two things.
Yeah, I would say make sure that you have the time to do it. If you're gonna do it, commit to it. If you gotta, because it takes time. The will has to be there. If there's a will, there's a way. That's the old adage says, where there's a will, there's a way. If you want it, go get it. Um, but you've got to commit. And I think early on there was some doubt. So it was really hard at the beginning to actually, commit. And now that I've gotten to the affiliate and I'm starting to grow real slowly but surely, it all trickling in. But it's just the commitment to it. Make sure you commit. Mistake wise, I don't know that I can't think of any honest mistakes that I've
And that's okay.
done.
If you haven't any mistakes, it's just what has helped you to get to where
Right,
you're at now.
right.
So
Yeah,
so
just yeah.
obviously making sure you stick to your guns and commit is
Yep.
one very important one. What is a second thing you would say?
Um, the next thing would be find a group of people that you enjoy hanging out with and playing games with.
Okay.
Um, because that's what you're going to be doing every day. And if you're going to want to come in and like I said, it's the fun factor. You're going to want to come in and make it fun for you and hopefully for them too. You keep your community tight and go just just it's got to be fun. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I keep
Yeah.
coming back to, man. In my mind, that's
Commit, get a
yeah,
group of individuals that continue to help you make it fun and keep it
yeah,
fun. That's what
yeah,
I'm getting out of it. And I
yeah,
think that's absolute great advice.
yeah.
So Skitty, thank you so much for being on this. Thank you for doing this, and hopefully
Mhm.
you have opened the doors to a lot of other people to want to come and tell their stories of who they
Yeah.
are, where they've been, where they want to head to, what have they done, and what they want to accomplish. And honestly, I've you talked about meeting great people, and you're one of those individuals that I've met that I consider a really good friend, even though we have not met in person. But
Mhm.
we've had good times. We've had our rage moments, or I have at least, and you know,
Yeah, I haven't
and
raged yet. Knock on
yeah,
wood. It'll
yeah,
happen
yeah,
eventually.
yeah. So, but nonetheless, it's a pleasure and joy to be playing with you every day.
Yeah.
And so, one final thought of anything you want to say, to the audience and people listening.
Kind of been saying this. I've said this a couple times already in this interview, but I'm gonna say it one more time. Just be true to you, be true to yourself, and people will see it. Within right now, there's so many people just trying to do things for likes and to go viral. Yeah, well, all that's cool, but is that who you really are? That would be my last parting thing. Would be just stay true to yourself. You know, that is the best. In that way, in the end, no matter what happens, if you stay true to yourself, you can't lose. You can't lose.
All
And
right.
Silver,
Well,
thank you for everything you've done for me. Also, thanks for the opportunities and playing games with me and putting up with my antics as well. I need you to know how much you are appreciated too, because without you, this isn't here for me either. So thank you,
well,
sir, very much.
thank you, Skitty. I appreciate you. Like I said, I appreciate you. I want to make sure I thank Skitty for being here, and I want to thank everyone for being here. And again, this is we asked the question, "Who is Skitty?" So here it is. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing from him himself of where he got his name, where he comes from, a little bit about his personal life, and everything else that where he's trying to head, what he's trying to accomplish, and then also that feedback he gave everyone on what he recommends that to stay true to yourself. And I couldn't agree more with Skitty. I think if you stay true to yourself, don't try to be anyone else. Be your own personality, be your own persona, let your inside out, and by that I mean let people really know who you are, and I guarantee you they'll love who you are. And those that don't, they'll just continue moving. All right, guys, with that said, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode of Under the Scope.